From the dusty streets of Ajegunle to the glitz and glamour of Lekki, Bose never thought she would end up in the mob because of a dream she nurtured for years. Her journey had started innocently, just a young girl longing to be loved, admired and noticed. But as her lifeless body lay cold on the hospital bed, disfigured by the very surgery she once celebrated, one question lingered. Was it worth it? Bose had always dreamed of living the good life. Growing up in the dusty streets of Ajegunle, she hated how boys teased her about her small hips and flat chest. "See as you are flat like plank," they would say, laughing as she walked past. Bose would smile, but deep down she felt broken. No one found her attractive. Her friends were having admirers, but no one said hi to her. Every night, she sat on her thin mattress scrolling through Instagram. The women on her feeds were stunning. Curvy hips, flat stomach, and glowing skin. Their pictures were full of likes and comments from men showering them with admiration. She wanted that life. She wanted to be admired, to be loved, and to escape poverty. One day, her friend Sade came to visit. Sade was now living large in Lekki. She had many men toast her. She had rich men sponsoring her lifestyle. She had done the Brazilian butt lift, popularly known as BBL, and transformed herself into a goddess. Bose, see as you are hindering your progress. Fine girl like you. If you do this BBL surgery, your life will change, Sade said, showing off her tiny waist and round hips. Good girl doesn't pay again, no. But Sade, I no get that kind money, oh, Bose replied, her eyes fixed on Sade's curves. Leave that one. Na small thing. Just find one rich man to sponsor you. Once you find, get waist, men go rush you. You don't turn Lekki big girls be that, oh. Bose's mind began to race. She worked as a cashier in a small wine shop, barely making enough to feed herself. But Sade's words stayed with her. One day, she met a man named Chief Donatus at the shop. He was rich and took a liking to Bose. He approached her for a one-night stand and she agreed without hesitation. She was indeed very desperate for a better life. On telling Sade about Chief Donatus, Sade was excited. My dear, make sure you use this opportunity very well. Don't settle for one night stand. Try to sustain it. Make it regular so you can gather money for surgery. Chief Donatus and Bose's relationship exceeded the initial one-night arrangement. Soon, Bose had the money for the surgery. Then the anxiety set in. She became scared to undergo the surgery. Sade did her best to encourage her. Bose, no worry. Once you do am, you go dey alright. I was scared when I was going for mine. But see me now, no trace. And I am enjoying it, Sade said with a shy smile. Bose nodded, pretending not to feel the unease growing in her chest. 1 month later, Bose was in a small clinic in Lekki, Lagos. Sade had referred her. It wasn't the fancy hospital she had imagined, but the doctor assured her it was safe. The surgery was painful, but when she saw herself in the mirror, she couldn't stop smiling. Her hips were wide, her waist was tiny, and for the first time in her life, she felt beautiful. After her healing process, she started posting pictures online. And just as Sade had said, men began to notice her. Bose was invited to parties, got expensive gifts, and felt like her life was finally changing. She began living the life she saw on Instagram. Expensive trips that were sponsored by rich men. designer shopping bags on every of her Instagram photo and reel. On one of her trips, she called Sade and said, "Sade, see as my life changed. So this is what you have been enjoying." Sade replied, "No be you wan be good girl?" They both laughed. One evening, as she prepared for a date with a rich businessman, she felt a sharp pain in her lower back. It was so intense that she fell to the floor. Beads of sweat covered her face and she struggled to stand. "Maybe it's nothing," she whispered to herself, forcing a smile. But deep down, she knew something was wrong. The pain didn't stop. It got worse by the day. Bose tried to ignore it, pretending everything was fine. But her body told a different story. Her lower back ached constantly, and her hip felt unusually heavy. One night, while getting ready for another party, she noticed something alarming. Her left hip was swollen, and the skin around it had turned red. She panicked. "This doesn't look normal," she muttered, pacing in her small apartment. She decided to call the doctor who performed the surgery. "Doctor, I feel pain in my back and hip, and it's swollen," she explained. Bose, you don't have to panic. A small reaction. Just rub the cream I gave you, and you'll be alright," the doctor said dismissively. "You know, the implants are foreign to your body. It will take a while till your body gets used to it." Days passed, and the swelling got worse. She could barely walk, and the pain was unbearable. The skin on her hip started feeling hot, and a foul-smelling liquid began to ooze out. She knew she needed help, but where could she turn to? Chief Donatus had stopped picking her calls after she missed a party he invited her to. Her friends were too busy living their own lives. And Sade traveled to Dubai with a client for a week and was not allowed to make or take calls. Bose quickly sent Sade a message. Sade replied immediately, "Babe, just relax. I'll be home on Monday. We go tidy am up, no worry." 3 weeks later, on a Wednesday morning, as Bose tried to get out of bed, she felt a large pop in her hip. A sharp burning pain shot through her body and she screamed. She looked down and saw blood mixed with a strange yellow fluid soaking her bedsheets. Her vision blurred as she struggled to breathe. Bose knew this was it. She dialed Sade's number with shaking hands. "Sade, help me. I did die." She managed to say that before collapsing on the floor. When Sade arrived, the sight was horrifying. Bose lay unconscious, her once envied body disfigured and covered in blood. Sade screamed and called for an ambulance, but it was too late. At the hospital, the doctor delivered the grim news. The silicone implant in her body busted. Infection has spread. It would be a miracle she survives it, because she's in serious danger. Back in the hospital ward, Bose struggled for her life. Her mind flashed back to her childhood in Ajegunle, the teasing, the dreams of a perfect life, and the promises of beauty bringing happiness. She realized too late that she had paid the ultimate price for a fleeting illusion. Then she took her last breath. Sade couldn't believe it. She screamed, held Bose's hand to wake her up. "Bose, na me cause this one, no. Na me tell you about BBL. Abeg, wake up, my friend. Wake up." But Bose was gone. Sade stood by her lifeless body, tears streaming down her face. "Bose, so na die be this. Just like that, you don't die. I'm so sorry, my friend." "I'll miss you," she whispered. And just like that, the quest for perfection and money to live a lavish life had claimed yet another victim. Be safe out there.